I'm putting together this special order, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow, we're going to have tens of thousands of Americans here. They're coming here to support the rights of those who can't speak for themselves, the right of the unborn. And I know in my hometown of Bowling Green, at Bowling Green State University, I know that at least 40 college students will be coming down tomorrow to be out there on that mall. You know, it's great to see, you know, we had so many people here yesterday, but we also have young people coming out to talk about and support those who can't speak for themselves. As already been mentioned by other of the members today, of talking about their views on the Freedom of Choice Act and what that will do in this country. It'll be a travesty. You know, the world judges us by what we do, and they will judge us harshly when they see what we do if this bill would ever become law. I've always been pro-life, and when I was in the Ohio legislature, I had the privilege of chairing the Senate Judiciary Committee and the House Criminal Justice Committee. And probably one of the toughest days that we ever had was when we had the partial birth abortion ban bill up. And when you sit on a committee that hears about all the gruesome crimes that are committed against the living, and I'd always have some of my constituents say to me after they'd sat through some of our hearings after a long day, and they said, Latta, how do you sit through that stuff day after day after day? And I'd say, it's my job. But then we had the partial birth abortion bill ban come before our committee. It was kind of also very unique to sit there in that committee room and look out across that audience and looking down across the committee to the folks sitting in their chairs. There was a lot of squirming going on that day because of the testimony of a doctor that testified that day to explain exactly what partial birth abortion was. And it was one of those days that I had the initiative at times as the chair that I could actually tell that we're not going to have anyone under the age of 18 in a hearing room because of what it might do to affect some of the kids that might be there. But when we heard the testimony that day, I could look down on both sides, left and right, and see from my members on that committee that they'd heard enough, and they wanted to vote. And it was a bill that we were able to bring to the floor quickly, and we got that bill passed in Ohio to ban that horrible, horrible procedure, and it was already discussed a little bit earlier. But we do things in this country that when you see what we try to do to save the living, it's time that we do what we can to save those who cannot speak for themselves. According to the National Right to Life, since 1973, there have been 49,551,703 abortions performed in this country. In the state of Ohio, from the Department of Health, we have the records showing that 32,936 abortions were performed in Ohio alone in 1 year. And I'll close on this because, you know, we have to think about this. You know, when we have all these troubles and travesties that are coming before our country today, you know, we have to ask ourselves, of those 49,551,703 lives, who among those could have found the cure for cancer? Who among those could be out there that found that energy cure that we have to have for this country? And who in that number could have been the next president of the United States? So I'm very, very glad to be here to support those who cannot speak for themselves and stand before you and say that it's time for this country to remember those who cannot speak and defend themselves. I yield back.